16 Champions League action starts tomorrow. We're going to see Galatasaray host Liverpool for leg one in the early kickoff match that is set for 1:45 p.m. Eastern with coverage starting at 1 p.m. All of that is on Paramount Plus. Now, this game will set the tone for tomorrow's three other matches. Galatasaray, they are not a team that you can mess around with, especially when they're playing at home. Now, me personally, I've never experienced what the Galatasaray home stadium feel is like, but when I hear that going there is a welcome to hell, that is pretty scary. And that goes back to 1993. It was the Champions League qualifiers versus Manchester United, and Manchester United were met at the airport by Galatasaray fans with a bunch of signs, and they would say, "Welcome to hell." That is the way that they were met at the airport. Look at that. Hey, Man United, this is your last 48 hours, and it has just completely stuck. I mean, imagine that.
I love the double Y. Hey.
And the two L's on welcome.
Oh, I absolutely love that here. And listen, when Jose Mourinho and Real Madrid played at Galatasaray's current home stadium, Rams Park, back in 2013, he said they did not play with 11 men today. They played with 50,000 incredible supporters. It was hard, and they deserved to win tonight. And when Paulo Maldini played at Galatasaray's old stadium in the 1999-2000 UCL season, he said, "Nobody can make me believe that there are only 25,000 people in this stadium." So that just absolutely goes to show the kind of atmosphere that you are walking into. Have you ever experienced
yes,
that?
You want to know part of how they stoke that atmosphere? I got to follow the race. He's the boss, the head of Ultra Aslan, the biggest supporters club. So during the day, this dude was like, he was suited and booted. He was all business. Looked like he probably ran several businesses. When the match came around, he was jeans, t-shirt, sweating. He had the megaphone. He was right in the middle of the supporter section. He was all up and around. If you weren't supporting, if you weren't like going, yelling, jumping hard enough, most of these guys are in their early 20s. If you weren't hard enough, he'd grab you, throw you out, bring like another young cat in who was ready to bring the energy. Like it was literally, it's like an army. Like if you weren't up to on point, you were out of the row. And then someone else was brought in who would do the job. Before the match, there's like thousands and thousands of them lined up. They're all ready to like go to war. It's so serious there. I've never seen anything like that. They embraced me like a brother, like I was in there with them, but it's real serious in there.
Yeah, when you talk about home advantage, like this is a true, you've experienced it, Nico.
No, I've never been, but one of my best friends, dear best friend, he massive Galatasaray supporter, he went to the first, like I'm trying to find the text that he sent me. Right, I might have been a voice note, I wanted to read it verbatim. He said that, honestly, I've never seen the stadium push that much. And enough that they got a nice little cushion that they almost threw away at Juve, but it's different. I identify a lot with it from Argentina because I understand what, that the stadium actually pushes for you, because you do kind of get that result. Whereas I feel like in certain parts of Europe, it's a lot of, the dynamic is different. It's the footballers do something that incites the crowd, and then the crowd gets into it. Versus other areas of the world, it's the crowd pushes first, and that influences what happens on the field. And that, to me, is something
I think you see the white shirt at the top. I believe that's the race telling everyone to go. Yes, I'm fairly certain that's him.
Listen, that welcome to hell, it extends to 2 a.m. in the morning.
He's yelling at someone. Tell him they're not doing it enough. This is it. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
So you're pointing up like, get out. Get out.
Is this the guy that's leading the fans also to put fireworks outside of teams' hotel rooms?
I think they do that one on their own. They take their own initiative. They don't need to be told that.
So this isn't the first time that Liverpool and Galatasaray are playing this season. They played already in the league phase, and they actually have never met before in not the league phase or group stage. So this is the first time that they're meeting in the round of 16 here, Nico. And Galatasaray did get the better of Liverpool the last time. It was a Victor Osimhen penalty kick that got them the win.
Yeah,
but
win's a win.
A win's a win. What are you expecting out of this one? Are you expecting more so of the same that we saw before?
I expect a little bit more seriousness from Liverpool. I think it's going to be a completely different challenge. I think Liverpool has progressed to a certain extent. I think they are still a team full of doubts, and I think media and everything that surrounds Liverpool at the moment are just waiting for that situation in the season where it could be like Arne Slot's demise, right? And a loss against Galatasaray could be the nail in the coffin. Maybe it's a symbolic nail because they fire him at the end of the season because of this loss, but it could be a determining factor. So Liverpool needs to get their act together. It's going to be very, very difficult to go to Istanbul, and Galatasaray needs to be the Galatasaray from the first leg against Juve in both legs against Liverpool.
Yes.
Because the Galatasaray we saw in the second leg was a team that was mentally fragile.
100%.
And that's worrying because oftentimes the emotions can sway you in both directions. For good, like it did it in that first leg where you feel the air under your wings and you could pull off the extraordinary. And it can work aversely where you're so scared of losing that you end up losing.
Yeah.
So Galatasaray is a valiant team, and they need to be dictated by that. And I think if they're not, if they play scared at any point in this matchup, they will lose.
Yeah. This is a Liverpool team that can be got at. They're full of quality. We cannot ignore that. But if Galatasaray play bravely, they have the quality to really hurt this Liverpool team. It's not just Victor Osimhen. You got Mohamed Salah, who's when the Champions League anthem comes on, I feel like Salah really gets excited. Noah Lang, on his day, he can torment anyone. But this team really can hurt Liverpool if they play in a really brave fashion.
Usually in a tie, a Champions League tie, Liverpool has the advantage when it comes to atmosphere. Not in this tie. And if you have watched Liverpool, as I unfortunately have had to watch a lot of Liverpool this season, and I say unfortunately because that back line is just, it's Swiss cheese in a lot of matches. And if they go down a goal and get this stadium rocking, I really believe that Liverpool can be in serious trouble in this tie. If they allow more than one goal in Turkey, it'll be difficult for them to turn it around because, again, I have zero confidence in this back line. There's injuries. There is no consistency. Virgil van Dijk is a shell of himself. I think Liverpool are in trouble here. I think they have more quality. I think that's pretty evident. But it doesn't mean that they're going to get the result because that back line has given up goals to everyone they've played. It just lost to Wolves in the Premier League. I know that they're playing a bit better, but it was a shocking performance where the back line was just nowhere to be seen. Defending was woeful the entire match. And I do believe that Liverpool needs to get off to a good start in this tie, or they can find themselves behind by 2 or 3 goals. And I just don't know if they have enough to not concede goals in the second leg if they go down by 2 or 3 goals in the first leg.
I think Galatasaray also has a lot of defensive problems on the European level, maybe not domestically, but they need to be organized also against Liverpool, and not because they also conceded 2 goals, right? What was it? 5-2 was the final score in the first leg. They also conceded a decent amount, and just shore up. I think Davinson Sanchez, I don't think is the best defender, and I think their captain Abdulkarim Bardakce has also dropped off a little bit when you compare it to last season. Think about what Galatasaray mentally has been through, and I just think, like, listen, midfield forward, they have a very good team, and we saw the starting lineup. Take out Noah Lang, put Barış Alper Yilmaz on the other side, and Leroy Sané into that 11. It's very strong, but beyond the individual quality, you have this mental aspect. Back in the Schneider, Drogba, Felipe Melo days, they got to a quarterfinal of a Champions League where they played 8 matches and they were into the quarterfinal. Right. They've played 10 matches and they've just barely got to the round of 16. Like, you need to, it's another big ask from the supporters. It's another big ask from the team that they need to be up to the standard. But the difference is now, back then they were getting Drogba, Schneider, Felipe Melo at the tail end of their career, or at least in a different
phase.
Latter portion of their history. Victor Osimhen is scratching the surface of what he can be, right? And I think that motivation behind what he wants to achieve, behind and the leadership of his standard, kind of heightens everybody else, right? To try to be that.
He challenged his team after a win to be better. He raises the standard. He wants the standard to be high, Victor Osimhen. So that leadership is really important in bringing a team to where, pushing them past their capabilities and making them play to their potential as well.
Yeah, how much, with this Galatasaray team, where would they be without Victor Osimhen? And I ask that because right now there's been rumors that he's been linked with going back to Italy, but Galatasaray actually did confirm that there is no release clause. There's no release clause in his contract right now. So, I mean, he really is the difference maker for this side. And it feels like, who needs who more? You think Galatasaray needs Osimhen more, or Osimhen needs Galatasaray?
Galatasaray needs Osimhen more. Osimhen can walk into just about any top team. Probably one of the reasons he's not there is because he wants to make a lot of money, and he does make a lot of money. But Galatasaray without Osimhen is an average team. With him, they are a contender to possibly beat Liverpool. Without him, I wouldn't even consider it as a real chance.
Imagine when they won those back-to-back Turkish League Super titles. That's a streak that they're currently on. They did it a lot of the time with Mauro Icardi. Also, leaving Italy at a later portion in his career, they were calling him the king, right? And he was unplayable at certain times. Mauro Icardi was so good. The Mertens-Icardi combo, one of those seasons, and then Kerem Aktürkoğlu, who's now actually at Fenerbahce, also combination with a lot of his players, but Osimhen has just been such a major upgrade to that, and it's like almost like a cheat code for the Turkish Super League, right? And for the Champions League as well. He's a Champions League level striker that can just change a game, and like Galatasaray has the better forward from the two teams,
without
right?
a doubt, without a doubt.
And that's no disrespect to Ugo Ekitike, because he's a fantastic player. Osimhen is just that good.
Yeah.
All of you guys do have Liverpool, I think, getting past Galatasaray in your Champions League bracket, correct?
I do.
You have Liverpool?
Yeah,
You have Liverpool. I think all of you guys had
so,
Liverpool.
Yes.
But if
Just
Galatasaray, just barely.
Just
It's hard to predict this one, and I don't know if this is maybe the closest game that we're seeing in this round of 16. But do you feel like Galatasaray is able to advance past Liverpool if they win this first game? Do you think that they need to win this first game?
Yeah,
And
of course. They have to win.
I feel like we talk a lot about the Galatasaray magic. That it's the Ali Samien is incredible how much they push XYZ. Let's not forget that Anfield also has magic. You might think Istanbul has it more, which personally I do think it does. But if you're just one goal down Liverpool and you get that goal early and now it's an even game, the way that Anfield claps the lights, it gets into it. They have magic too.
The way I look at it is simple. If this becomes a shootout, if this becomes a who can score more, Liverpool are in trouble. Yeah. If they can tame Galatasaray at home and leave there with a draw, even down a goal, I will favor Liverpool to go through at Anfield. But if they go down 2 or 3 goals, it could be a big problem for the Reds.
I think if Liverpool get on the bus after the match tomorrow and it is even, they will be super happy with that. Super happy.
Take a draw back home.
Yeah, they'll take
super happy.
And it's worth noting Galatasaray fans will not be allowed at Anfield after all the antics in the round of 6 in the previous stage against Juventus.
Sounds right.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount Plus.